All right, so here's what we're going to be talking about today.
Okay.
So first we're going to review our partnership history. We're going to get into new solutions, future opportunities. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see. Next slide. So we just want to review kind of your spend year to date. So if you look at the shipping trends, 2016 you did about 157,000,
Yeah.
2017 166, and 2018 just a bit over 205. So you guys are doing good, your business is good, and we appreciate the partnership. And up there you have, so you're predominantly ship ground, 89% is ground, 3% is air, and you have 9% international.
Well, where's the rest of it? I mean, you said I do 205,000 and there's only 84,000.
Oh, okay,
was
sure,
CPC.
sure. So that is the, I'm sorry, that is the spend for year to date, so January
Oh,
to May,
okay.
I'm sorry, I should have
Okay,
clarified.
no, that's
Yes,
fine,
yes,
that's fine, I didn't know.
Yes.
All right, so we've increased quite a bit over the
Yes,
years.
yes.
How about better rates?
We love to do better rates for you. I've been emailing you. I've been wanting to stop by. We just don't get a chance. We will love to review your rates.
All right, well, I'll take some of those.
Yes, so we're gonna sit down, we're gonna review your rates, we're gonna review all the international business you got going, and then we'll put all that in a pile and make it a little more attractive for you.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Uh-huh.
All right. So here we're talking about the zones you ship to. About 8% is going to zone 2, 16% is going to zone 3, 44%, a good chunk is going to zone 4, 29% is going to zone 5, and so on and so forth. So good chunk of about 70% shipments are going to zone 4 and 5. And 95% of your business is commercial shipping to businesses versus residential.
Okay.
Yeah. Here is your time in transit, and if you take a look at it, we are delivering pretty much close to 100% for you on time.
Okay. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so here we're going to talk about solutions that you have in place that save you time and money. Okay. So you use Billing Center, it saves you time. So you go in there, you can able to pull all the data, dissect it, see how much you billed customer A, did you bill them accurately, do you need to change anything? So the savings on that for the year is roughly about $1,000.
Okay.
Versus going over each bill individually, trying to, so it's all in one place.
Okay.
You have Quantum View Managed. This is a visibility solution that gives your customer service people visibility to inbound and outbound shipments, so nobody has to go to shipping, waste time, and put customers on hold. And the dollar value of that is approximately about $900 for the year.
Okay.
Okay. You also have returns on the web. I don't know, I kind of wanted to understand if you do a lot of returns or it's activated in your system, so.
Well, based on the fact that I have saws, I don't know if I refurbish saw blades, but that would be a reason why I would want them returned.
Okay.
So that I can refurbish them.
Sure, so it's activated and it's saving you roughly about $500 for the year.
Okay.
Okay, and then as you know, UPS has one driver advantage. That means one driver takes your ground, air, and international packages versus, I know you deal with FedEx on the freight side where you have to stage one for ground, one for air, one for international.
So I basically still have all the drivers.
I'm sorry?
Well, you're right, because I still got my FedEx driver coming in. I still got the FedEx truck drivers coming in.
Sure.
And I have the UPS driver coming in.
Okay.
So I like the fact that you guys do it all, but I'm not really getting that advantage right now.
Okay, so you said you have FedEx freight and also you have FedEx. So do you do FedEx small pack as well?
Yeah, I mean, from time to time, every once in a while, somebody says they gotta have it FedEx, so
Okay.
yeah, I have them come in too.
Okay.
Is that going on your account number or their account number?
Right.
Sometimes it goes both ways. I mean, sometimes for whatever reason they prefer to have FedEx, but we'll just bill it to our current account number.
I'd like to understand, I mean, I understand they want, okay, so we have 100% reliability for you. Just like to understand why. I mean, have you ever asked them, okay, why do you want FedEx? If you're paying for it, you should be able to decide. I understand you want to keep your customers happy. You should be able to decide that there are no issues shipping UPS. Why ship FedEx?
Yeah, I mean, we could ask our customer service people to recommend UPS, I guess. I mean, you gotta understand, Sandeep, that customer says they want one product versus another, I give it to them. So if they say they want one carrier versus another, I give it to them. They're customers.
Sure.
Well,
I like to keep them happy.
to that point though, when you're not shipping with UPS, you're taking away from your own incentive. So if that was part of the conversation that you wanted to review, by shipping with FedEx, you're not realizing your full UPS discount anyway. So you're kind of hurting yourself in that regard. So it would behoove you to not just make the decision to implement using UPS for all of your for all of your shipments, because then you're getting the full benefit of your discount instead of shooting yourself in the foot, so to speak.
Yeah, no, that sort of makes sense. I would agree with that. I mean, like I say, I'm not the one on the phone with them, so I kind of just get what I get.
Sure.
But yeah, it makes sense.
So just curious, what's your FedEx spend in a year with small packs?
I'd say a couple $1,000, maybe $3,000-4,000.
Okay, all right. No, like I said, when we review pricing, we can add all this in the pile and take a look at it, what else we can do, like Shane said.
Okay.
Just kind of, it could throw you off a tier, and with us, reliability being close to 100%,
Right.
you know.
It would
All
make
right.
sense.
Yeah, okay. So next slide we're gonna look at is, so now you have WordShip right now, but it's all a process where you are, customer service is printing those invoices, they're walking over to WordShip, they're adding, so all key entry that's taking time, you can make mistakes, you can virtually walking over lose an invoice or a bill and not be able to ship a customer, and that's not a situation you want, okay? So what I'm proposing is some sort of a connection between your ERP and WordShip, so you don't have to print the invoices, you don't have to walk over with those invoices. You just like with a, let's say, PO number that feeds data into WordShip. So that's what we like to propose.
It sounds interesting and all, but I mean, I'm not a technology person.
Sure. Understood.
We don't really do a lot of changing around here, as you know. I mean, we kind of just follow the process we're following. I mean, I think we're okay.
Sure. I understand. So as far as technology is concerned, UPS has solution people working right in the street with us. They can come in, they can take a look at it, they can take care of it. And this is something we do it every day with every customer. This is just, it's not a new thing for us. Most of our customers this day and age, this is not how they're doing it. And you're growing, I see, you see your numbers are growing, you're spending more and more time doing key entries. You can eliminate all that, save time, and just no key entry errors, and I know you guys are pressed for time all the time.
To his point, with that integration piece, like you said, you're growing. With integrating and making it a streamlined process, we're giving you the capability to process more packages in a day without having to take all of that time to walk back and forth, scanning, picking, packing. By streamlining all of that, we're inadvertently going to help you make more sales, because you're going to be able to process more packages in a day, which is just going to continue to contribute to your growth and to your overall numbers. So, you know, who's to say that last year you did $205,000 by implementing this type of integration, you can process, let's say, 10 to 15 more packages a day just by streamlining everything. What's that going to do to your sales?
All right, well, I mean, you guys have talked a lot about how it's going to benefit me. I'm still concerned with the time and effort I'm going to have to put into making this change.
So you're not going to put much of a time and effort. I bring a solutions person in. They will have few questions on your ERP and things like that. They are experienced in dealing with multiple solutions, multiple companies. So it's not going to be much of a time investment for you. Half an hour you may invest. It's going to give you that every day. back. And also I know sometimes you have issues with shipping people, a new person, they don't know how to do it. So you eliminate that problem of somebody is new, because all you gotta show them, okay, here's PO number, punch in the PO number, it populates in the worship, all the address and everything. So you're taking care of a future problem as well. And the way you're growing, who knows, you may need another shipping person, that will just stop that in the tracks.
Okay, well, maybe it's something we should look at then.
Yes, okay. Now, another thing that could solve, you have, right now, you're paying roughly about $3,300 a year on address validation. So, what the solutions person can help you is lower the spend down to, if not zero, close to zero. And the reason that's happening, I just want to explain, is your people are not doing address validation on WordShip. It takes 5 seconds to do it. I've talked to Sandy, I've talked to Heather, I've met with Deanne on this. Honestly, only response I've gotten is they don't know how to do it. It's one button, F8, 5 seconds, it tells you if the address is, and then it corrects it. But if we go the solutions route, then it could possibly eliminate that need where you can clean up the addresses up front, so they won't have to do anything, and you will potentially save a large chunk of that money.
Okay, well, I mean, that's kind of out of what I typically deal with, but, yeah, okay.
So we don't want you to spending that money, frankly, okay?
Yeah.
It could potentially delay your packages, so let's set up a time to bring the solutions person in, let them understand how you're processing, and let them come up with a solution for you.
Yeah, maybe we can do those on the same day.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, so the third thing we can do is CTP, which is Customer Technology Program, okay? Basically, it's funding program for your technology needs, whether it's hardware, some software included. So, for example, if the solution person says, okay, here's a middleware that'll sit between your ERP and WordShip, and it requires a, whatever, $100 a month fee. We potentially could cover that. So it's doing funding for hardware needs, some software needs. You return those funding with your packages, which you're doing it, and we appreciate the business. We're just trying to make you a little more efficient. Okay. So next, Shane is going to talk to you about paperless invoice.
So I know that we haven't met yet. I took over the area a couple of months ago. Worked with Sandy previously. I previously had his role too. So I've worked with other customers just like yourself. So thank you for the time, and I appreciate you letting us come in and talk about your business. When Sandeep and I were reviewing your account, we noticed that you had, you're not doing a whole lot of international shipping right now, but what you are, you're seeing about 1 international hold per month. We see those updates when they're in our Addison facility that either it's missing a commercial invoice or some piece of information that's going to hold the package up from being delivered. So what we'd like to review, at a high level right here, it's called paperless invoice, and it's basically our solution to eliminate the physical paper, the 3 copies of the commercial invoice that you're attaching to your package, and it puts it onto a second QR label, just like on your regular tracking labels. It just spits out a second one. So at the time of pickup, when it gets back to our facility, it's scanned, and the idea is to eliminate customs holds by having it in a consolidated area.
Why are you holding my packages?
So from what we looked at, it's usually either the commercial invoice is missing altogether, or it's missing information. And what we're going to do is we're going to help make sure that not only with having a paperless option, but we're going to help you make sure that you've set up those commercial invoices properly. We're going to show you how to, after you key or after with the WorldShip integration, what's going to happen is you won't have to key it in anymore. So it's going to pull directly from your sales order. And this way, you don't have to worry about mistakes anymore, and you don't have to worry about the physical paper getting lost either. It's just our way of consolidating from the time the order's put through your system to the time that it's processed, eliminating the need to key enter commercial invoices altogether because it'll be stored on there from your sales order, and then eliminating customs holds on the other side to create a better customer experience for your end consumer.
What are you guys doing with the 3 copies I'm putting on there?
So sometimes we don't know the details of all of that.
Uh-huh.
We just see that there's a customs hold and we ask that you update the commercial invoice. It could be something as easy as who it's being sold to, or the description of the items within the container or within the package, or our tariff code is incorrect, and we're going ahead and asking you for that or after it's been shipped because we need more accurate information. And in conjunction with that, we've got tools that can help if that truly is the case. If it's a tariff code situation, we've got tools to help you better manage that, to provide more accurate tariff codes so this way your packages don't get held. So we've got an entire portfolio that you can use at your discretion to help eliminate any type of problems you're seeing on the international side.
You know, whenever there's a hold, I can tell you, I stop by. UPS calls you, then I stop by. Most of the times, you're just missing a copy, okay? And this is going to eliminate that problem because paper copies won't be needed with this.
Well, I get it. I mean, you guys need me to do this so that you don't lose my invoices internally. So is there any work on my part? Do I have to do anything here?
Nope. I already sent you and your partner the information to fill out.
Okay.
I actually pre-filled all of the information that you need. All it needs is your signature, which is done electronically. That's one click. It comes back to me, and I send it off for our partners for approval and activation. So minimal effort on your end. I've already taken care of most of the business for you, or most of the paperwork for you. All I need is your signature, and that's sitting in your inbox already.
So I just have to click and sign?
Yep.
I don't have to do anything else?
Nope. And then once it gets back to me, I forward it off to our partners, and then it gets implemented. I come back to make sure that it's active on your world ship, and that's it.
There you go.
Thank you. I'll get that sent off by the end of the day, so this way we can get taken care of by the beginning of next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here, another thing we want to talk about is, I know you guys have locations all across the globe, okay? So I think Shane wants to kind of understand, what comes in, what goes out, and where does your all inventory come from. So if you have some time today, we would love to talk to you about that.
Well, Shane, I'm right here. What questions you got? Because I don't have much time.
Sure, I know that we're getting a little bit crunched, but really the biggest thing that I want to know is you have 6 global locations: Austria, India, Canada, China, and Germany. But international shipping only accounts for 9% of your business, and I wanted to know really why that is. Why, if you are a global entity, why is international shipping such a small portion of your overall revenue?
Well, I guess you've kind of explained it with the way you described my organization. The reason why we have all those locations around the world is so that we don't have to ship from here or here to there or there to here.
Sure.
Those are set up to service that market.
Gotcha.
So, unless we're trying to, send industry across locations, which we don't do all that often, I mean, we have the merchandise we need in the offices where we need it. So that's why you don't see a lot of correspondence. I mean, that's what we used to do, is we'd have like next air letters and stuff that would go between the locations, but who does that anymore? Look at what you just did.
Right.
I just clicked and signed.
Sure.
So.
Well, even from a standpoint of imports, we know that you're bringing in your product from some of the facilities overseas.
Yeah.
So what I'd really like to do is look at your overall supply chain, what's coming in from overseas. We can talk about that, you and I. And then what does it do once it gets to your location here in Addison, which Sandeep is obviously your expert in that area. And we can talk about all of the efficiencies and integration that we've already talked about previously. And then from there, where is it going? Is it going back out to those other countries? What other countries with your where are your other end consumers? And I'd really like to dive into that a little bit more. I know we're crunched for time, but I think if we met next Wednesday, we can bring in our partners and really dive into that and see if there's any other ways that we can help optimize your business.
I mean, this is what you sales guys do all the time. You always want to talk, you want to ask more questions, you want to have more meetings. So what makes you think that you can improve my business if I give you this time?
I've done it with other companies. Actually, when I was in Sandeep's position, I dealt with a saw blade company in Schiller Park, and what we were able to do with them is they had a similar setup, but for whatever reason they weren't really utilizing their Canadian office at all. They weren't storing any product there anymore. It was kind of just an eyesore to them. So what we ended up doing was positioning them a solution to bring their product in-house, what was remaining, bring it to the US, and what we ended up doing was growing that market more with some solutions that we have, which we can go more in depth in another meeting. And that's why I'd like to have another meeting, because I don't want to throw out any type of solutions without knowing which one's going to be the proper fit for you. But just knowing that I've worked with companies similar to yours in the same industry, I know that I can have the same type of results with you.
All right, well, I usually don't do these meetings. I mean, it always seems to be a lot of work for me, and it seems to only benefit you guys. I mean, I'll give you 30 minutes, next week. But honestly, if it's not getting anywhere quickly, I'm just gonna have to end the meeting, because I don't, Sandeep begs me to get in here, and I finally let him in like 6 months later. So
Right. Well, that's
now
why
you want to come jaunting in here next week. And
I promise I'm going to make it worth your time, because I've done this successfully before, and 30 minutes, although it's it seems like a short time, we can get a lot done in 30 minutes, and I'm going to make sure that it doesn't become a workload for you, but also that you can see the return on investment that I'm bringing to the table, because that's what I do with UPS and my customers.
Okay, fair enough. We'll see.
Oh, thank you, we appreciate that. So next slide is just talking about, I talked to you about CTP, Customer Technology Program. You can get up to $2,000 of funding on this program.
Mm-hmm.
And next slide is what the paperless was Shane talked to you about.
Okay.
Okay, and here is the combined savings of roughly about $12,000 for the year. Any questions on that?
No, I mean, I like the $12,000 there. I'd like it more on my bottom line. So I know you said maybe you could bring a new contract in with this guy and the solutions guy next week, and in that 30 minutes we could wrap all this.
Sure. We in fairness to you, we want to understand your 30 minutes or 40 minutes, whatever you can give us. We want to understand exactly what are we missing, how else can we help you. Then we'll put an agreement for you. That will be the best agreement for you. So it really helps us to know what else are we missing.
So you can't bring pricing to me next
No,
week?
we can bring pricing, but we
All
want
right,
to bring
then bring it on in.
Yes, we want to bring the best pricing, so we want to understand everything, okay? If you're importing from Germany, okay, are you doing an air, ocean? So pricing is not a problem. We can take care of your pricing. We just want to get the best pricing for you, and that requires us to understand your entire supply chain. We don't want to waste your time. That's not what we are after.
Okay, so when am I going to get the pricing?
So what's next Wednesday, we're going to sit down, we're going to talk, we're going to understand, and then just in a short few days, we'll turn the pricing around for you.
Okay.
Okay? We appreciate your time, and the very last slide I have is, here's the plan I have for implementing your paperless, your CTP, your technology visit, and if you have time next time or time after that, I know you're shipping saws, okay? These are expensive product.
Uh-huh.
We can ensure your supply chain, entire supply chain, or each shipment with UPS Capital. So loss, damage, anything, you can take care of that.
Okay, well, that's a lot.
That's okay. So we can hold that off. It's just kind of food for thought. If not today, next week, next month is. So we just want to make sure you understand what else we can offer you. Okay? Okay?
All right.
Thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, there you go, nice job.
Well done.
World class. All right.